Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a very new release from MIlani, and it is a collaboration with Salt and Pepa, one of the best musical duos, technically trios, of the 90s. They came out with two palettes. I picked up the Hot Kool and Vicious palette, which looks like this. And then I also picked up one of the lip kits, which was the Shoop lip kit, and it is the more neutral brown toned lipstick, and that looks like this. So, as you can see, I still have makeup on my face. This is the makeup that I wore to work today. I'm going to take this makeup off from my eyes, and then we're going to try a first impressions with this palette and see how the quality is so that you can decide if it's something you want to get or pass over. Okay, so I have you zoomed in a little bit, and I'm going to be giving this gorgeous looking palette a try first. I'm going to prime my eyes, and I wasn't able to get all of the eyeliner off from this morning without completely taking off all my makeup, so a little bit of it's going to persist, and that's just is what it is. So I am priming my eyes with the MIlani eye primer. It's just coincidental that it happens to be MIlani. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow primers, and I've probably gone through about 6 tubes of this stuff. Recently I have been using a lot of concealer as eyeshadow primer as well, and the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, the white one, but this was the easiest one for me to grab, and since I already have the rest of my makeup on, I didn't want it to be too far off in terms of the tone of it, so use this bad boy today. Alright, now onto this palette. The palette does come with a pretty nice sized mirror, and then you have all these beautiful shades. So there's 12 eyeshadows and then a highlighter in the center. And I will do some swatches so you guys can see what those look like as well. So this is the swatch of the lip pencil and the lipstick from the color set Shoop. Okay, so this right here is the highlighter shade, and it's got sort of a peachy golden duochrome kind of effect to it. I'm not sure how much that's going to pick up on camera, but it's definitely really pretty in real life. And then starting here, you have that faintest kind of white color, which is almost my perfect skin tone, and you move slowly through the rest of the palette here. And you can see the metallics are super metallic, and there is a little bit of fallout, but I like that particular type of formula because I feel like it goes on so metallic on the eyes, and I think you could make this work on the eyes too as like a beautiful topper shade. So I know I definitely want to play with that. I'm working on trying out a Luxie brush set, so I'm going to be working through those as well today. So I'm going to go in first with Push It, which is a matte cream shade, and see what that looks like. Definitely nice and smooth. I think the shades in terms of the texture remind me a lot of the 12 pan palettes that they did like a year or two ago. So if you liked the texture from those, I think you would like the texture of this as well. And then I'm going to go in with Beauty and the Beat, which is sort of a matte orangey, pinky, nude brown kind of color. Definitely like how these are blending. They're nice and soft. There is a little bit of kick up, like you can see just a little bit in the pan, but it's not so much that it's even like falling down over my pants as I'm holding the palette up, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Next shade I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna deepen up kind of my outer. Here we go. My outer V a little bit is gonna be the Debut, which is sort of this red burgundy shade up here. They did have two different palettes. There was another one that was a lot more like shimmery tones, and while I'm definitely drawn to more shimmers than mattes, I felt like the color story for that one was a little bit chaotic, and so I wasn't sure that I would get as much utility out of that palette. So that's why I ended up going with this one, because I figured 3 shimmers and a highlighter, I think I could make that work together. I definitely like how that looks. Let's go ahead and run some of that on the lower lash line. Is anyone honestly able to do their lower lash line without making that face? Because like I can't. Perhaps that's what separates the YouTube amateurs from the YouTube professionals. I don't know. I'm just putting a little bit more of this into the outer part of my crease. This is definitely super buildable shadow. You can shear it out pretty nicely, but I do like how easy it is to just throw on a little bit extra color and really deepen that up. When I was a kid, one of the very first like rap CDs that I got as I first started getting into rap music, and this was like maybe 4 or 5, 6 years old, something like that, was actually a Mickey Mouse rap CD, and they had a cover of What a Man by Salt and Pepa, and instead of What a Man, it was What a Mouse, and so they're singing about how like great and fantastic Mickey Mouse is, and I will never ever forget that, because it was such a like funny memory for me. And a couple years ago, my mom actually purchased me the CD, because of course when I was very little we had cassette tapes, and so she purchased me the CD, and I could not stop laughing once I opened it. I was just, oh my gosh, that was hilarious to me. So I'm going to deepen this up just a little bit more, because I really like how that red shade is playing off of everything else. Very, very pretty. Okay, and I'm going to take a flat definer brush, and let's see, should we go brown, gray, or black? Let's go black. Let's see how black this black is. Ooh, definitely a good amount of kick up in that one. And I don't necessarily need everything to be like the blackest black, as long as I can sort of build it up. Because I don't always want to go in with the blackest black and then I have to try to tone it down a little bit, so. It's definitely a pretty black though. Awesome. Okay. So now that that's done, let's try one of these shimmers. And I'm gonna go in with It's Alright, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to use my finger. Ooh, that is buttery soft. Holy smokes. So it's definitely like a pretty rose gold, copper kind of color, which is 100% up my alley. I don't know if everybody else feels this way all the time about these shades, because I'm sure you have this kind of color in your collection already, but it's definitely really, really pretty. This is a different formula for sure than the formula that they had for the 12 pan palettes that they did in terms of the metallics, and you can see it definitely creates some texture there whenever you dip your finger into the shadow. But overall, I think the look on the eye is nice. And of course I'm spilling, or I'm transferring stuff all over the place here. So we last left off, I was applying the shimmer shade to my lids, and after that my camera of course cut off, but I just applied some of this yellow to the inner corner. It's definitely got a little bit of shimmer, but it's predominantly a yellow color. I threw on a little bit of upper lash mascara just so that you could see what the look would kind of come together like. I think the actual formulation of the eyeshadows is really nice. I do like the shimmers. The next thing I want to do is try out this highlight here in the center and see what that feels like. Oh gosh, that's super, super buttery. And this is of course just applying with a finger, but I do really like the look of it. It does have a nice reflection. It's definitely a very soft color. It blends well with my skin tone, at least. I can't speak to others. I think a little bit deeper would look okay. A little bit lighter and it might look like a bit of a stripe on your face. So I don't know if you're much, much lighter than me, how much you would get away with here. But I think in general the highlight looks really pretty as well. Overall, my thoughts on this palette, I do really like the palette. I think that it has a good variety of colors. There's 2 different color stories to pick from, so if this one is not your jam, there's definitely another one. So I would give these a try if you happen to see this at your local Ulta, or potentially if it's going to be in stock at Walgreens or Walmart, I would definitely think about picking this one up. Next thing I want to try is the lip product. Okay, so the lip kit that I have is in Shoop, that's the shade range, or the shade selection. So I'm going to start with the lip liner and then I'll move to the lipstick. And this is definitely that classic 90s brown. If you ever did makeup in the 90s, you had this shade for sure. This is like the shade. And I really like the nostalgic factor that this this product line contains. Alright, let's get some lipstick on here before this looks even more ridiculous. Because I know how ridiculous it looks right now. So definitely if my lips were exfoliated a little bit better, I think this would look nicer, but this is a really pretty shade. The pencil is like a really deep kind of poopy brown color, so I'm not sure I'm the hugest fan of that, but the lipstick itself is a little bit lighter and it's a little bit rosier in terms of like a dark rosy nude. I do really like the texture. It has a wonderful scent. It's got like a vanilla kind of scent to it, so I'm definitely down for that. Overall, for the lip kit, I'm happy with it. I think if I were going to use the pencil again, I would fill in my lips entirely. That way there's not such a contrast between the two shades. Like I said, the lipstick itself, fantastic. Totally plan to wear that some more. If you have not already, definitely please go check out these items. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Let me know if you're interested in picking up this collection or not. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye!